sitting out there. He's wanting to go for a ride. Somebody go out there and turn that motor off before he hurts himself.
Well, good morning. Today, we're going to talk about a variety of things. As most people know on here, I am 84 years old, and at the end of my life cycle. Hey, it's another. I don't have a closing date. I'm not going to go bad or turn clabber or spoil, grow blue mold. You never know. But what we're going to talk about is you young people, if you're younger than 50 years of age, if you got your mom and daddy, your grandma and grandpa, if you still have them, make it a point to embrace them, talk to them, sit down and have them to how you might have your mama tell you a story about her youth. If you're a guy, you've probably talked to your daddy a lot. He taught you how to use tools. He taught you how to run the John Deere tractor. He taught you how to drive the pickup truck. He taught you how to shoot your first gun. Your daddy has always been there in most cases, not in all cases. But your mama usually gets left out of the loop. Mama cooks good meals. Mama, she always has a smile on her face. She bakes the best cakes. Let her know how much you appreciate her while you have her. And your grandmother that brought you your beautiful mother, talk with her if she's still here and listen to her old stories. When you're out there and you encounter an older citizen, make an effort to be polite. You don't have to be polite to me, I ain't asking for that. But for the other people that maybe not have had as good a life as I've had, give them some love and attention. The people in the traffic, the older people, sometimes you cuss people. I do it all the time. I get so mad. But as I've gotten older, I've learned to give kind of like a second look. If I look over and there's a blue-headed lady behind a 73 Dodge Dart with her left blinker on, just kind of reserve your anger. You see Granddad over there, you look over at him and he's smoking his pipe. And he has not hit 40 miles per hour on this whole journey you've been on. Give him a little room. He may be having a rough day. He may be facing the reality that his time is up. And he's dealing with illnesses and things that you may not be aware of. If you've got your parents, you're so blessed. Mine are gone. Of course, at 84 years old, you would expect them to be gone. That's the way the thing works. Everybody has a beginning and an ending, And you're a fool when you don't know when the end is coming. I don't mean the exact day, but when you know your time is running out. Share some of the wisdom you've garnered over the years. Do these things like we do here with motovlogging. Ride along and talk about things that was. I don't know what is to be. Only you will be here to see it. And you may not like it, but adapt some form of coexistence with whatever's happening, and you won't believe how long you will live without carrying the burden and stress of all the stuff that's preached on the TV. All the news, the false news, the phony news, the real news, just old news, any kind of news. It's designed to garner the highest amount of points in TV ratings. And you're the victim of a TV rating when you sit there and listen endless hours of the talking heads on the TV, their political beliefs, their religious beliefs, and all those things. Live life, it's real. I mean, TV ain't real. Hey, history has been designed to be altered. My children come home telling stories about Civil War battles and stuff like that. And I wrote a letter to their principal stating that I didn't believe most of the stuff that they were teaching at that school. And he wrote me back and he said it's called modified history. I think modified history has now been replaced with what they call alternate reality. And you get caught up in all that deceitfulness, you will live a dreadful life. You ain't living your life, you're living some politician's life, some preacher's life, some whatever it is, it's not your life. So embrace your religion, embrace your political viewpoints, but let them be yours. Don't ever try to make me carry your burden. See, I don't have any wrinkles in my face. I'm 84 years old because I find that laughter is good medicine, and it's easy on the heart. Anger is a horrible thing to have. I mean, it tears your heart and your soul out. Anger is something I would never allow to dominate me. I've had fits of anger, but I got over it. And you can too. Just take a deep breath. Enjoy your life. Let there be life. Give your elders a little space. I ain't asking nothing for me now, don't get me wrong. Hell, I don't ask for no quarters, and I've never received any quarters. I've carved my own path, and I will reap the rewards in the end, and I will suffer the consequences of my deeds. It is not your burden to bear, but have respect for your elders. And now that that is said, let me tell you a little story about respect. Oh, bless his heart. He carries the burden. A friend of mine told me a story about when he was a young man. He was a biker. I believe it was somewhere around 1953. He's an elderly person now. He's older than I am. He told me he was riding. He had intended to go out west, and he was on his Harley, and he was fixing to get onto the highway, and there was a young lady hitchhiking, and she was a rather large lady, big girl. And you know, my saying when I came up, there was big old good ones and good old big ones, and she was one of the good old big ones. Well, she had her pedal pushers on, and she had her little tie-dye blouse, and she crawled onto the back of that Harley. Now, I think his was a 48 model, last of the 48s. I mean, it had a panhead engine in it. Wasn't known for a good gas mileage, and he went through a lot of oil. But as he was trudging along across the Mississippi Delta, he noticed his gas mileage appeared to be dropping. He filled up the tank a couple of times, hadn't even made it over to Louisiana. And when he was filling up the gas at the gas pump there, he noticed that she had pedal pushers on, but she had real hairy legs. Her legs was rather large, but they was hairy. Now, ain't nothing wrong with a hairy-legged lady. I like women with hair on their legs. I don't mind them at all. But it's a matter of preference. Anyhow, he saw the hair on her legs, but he didn't think a whole lot about it till he got up. That little Harley would only do about 150 miles on that. He had what they call a 48 tank on it, you know, smaller gas tank. And boy, his mileage was dropping off, and he'd poured another quart of oil in that motor, old 50 weight, and he looked, as he was filling up, he noticed the hair on her legs was full of bugs, you know, grasshoppers and mosquitoes, and those what we call telephone bugs in the South. You people along the Mississippi Delta down in Louisiana, you know about the telephone bug. They come out in August and September. And her legs were just full of them. I'm talking about every inch of her leg was covered in bugs, splattered bugs. Well, he pulled into a little convenience store, and he told the girl, he said, if you want to ride with me out west, you're going to have to shave your legs, not because I don't like your pretty black hair on your legs, but you're slowing my bike down and reducing my gas mileage. So he got her a can of shaving cream and some of them big shavers, you know, them disposables. And he stopped at a picnic table just before he crossed into, well, they was now going into Texas. They'd crossed Louisiana. And he laid her on a picnic table. He said, I'll help you. So he lathered her legs up, and between the two of them, they got her legs shaved out real smooth and everything. And, well, they rode on, and he noticed she didn't have much to say after that. And he's feeling real bad about it. They got on up there to Amarillo, hit old Route 66. Now he's heading west. And they rode hard. They slept on the side of the roads. You know, just every time they find a place they could pull off the park, they would park, sleep in a sleeping bag, get up next day. She ain't said a word since they got to the Texas border there. Now they're coming into, they're just pulling into Needles, California. And when he stopped there at the little roadside rest, he said, I've got to talk to you, girl. He said, you ain't spoke to me since we got into Texas all the way across old Route 66. And I've asked you 4 or 5 times, what is wrong? And like a woman, you always say, nothing, I'm all right. I gotta know, why are you giving me the silent treatment? She said, she looked him in the eyes and she said, you never say nothing nice to me. You never ever say anything nice to me. Oh my God, it hit me like a ton of bricks, he told me. He said, oh, he just gasped for air when she said that and knocked the wind right out of him. And he thought about it. He said, oh, goodness gracious, she's the kind of woman I like, and she's a warm and cuddly human being, and she gave me comfort at night with the warmth of her body. She is so right. How have I neglected her? Just like some of you young people have neglected your grandparents and your mama and daddy. How have I neglected her? Let me see what I can do to make it up. So he wrapped his arms around her and leaned her head back and looked into her big blue eyes. And he said, he was a little bit choked up when he said it, because he never was one for paying a lot of compliments. And this is going to be a compliment that is going to help fill the void of her needs of having comfort. He said to her, you know, for a big fat woman, you sure don't sweat very much. Oh! Well, he told me, he said the last time I saw her, she was crawling into a cattle truck over there, heading east. I guess she wanted to go back to Alabama. So anyhow, the moral of the story is, just be nice. Be respectful to your elders. Sometimes it galls you to have to find a nice word to say about them, because maybe your daddy wasn't all that good to you when you was young. But find a way to forgive him. And he was the beginning of your creation here on this earth. Your heavenly Father was your Father in heaven, but he's your Father here on earth. And your mama could not have brought you to this world without him. So give him that respect, because from him came you. And if you turned out to be a good human being, it's because of him. If you turned out to be an a-hole, it's because of him. And your mama, she gave you birth and brought you into this world, and you've never had the time to be respectful, because you had lady friends in your life. Once you met that beautiful woman and you took her for your wife, you forgot about your mama. Your mama never forgot about you. So anyhow, I thank you for listening to I know a lot of y'all are saying, I'm hearing the strong BS coming. Oh, that's a bunch of BS there. SOB. Anyhow, thank you very much. I love each and every one of you. And don't make me go through names now. Oh, I watched Ray Gregory this morning. I watched Ray this morning run into the parts store to get tools. Ray Gregory over there. And Motobomb Virginia, he's like a kingpin amongst the motovloggers. He makes the adrenaline run. I mean, he is a guy that, if you want to watch some exciting traffic, just watch him. Another thing, a lot of people don't know about Motobomb Virginia. but he's a spam connoisseur like me, and most of the fine folks that I know of are also spam connoisseurs. Anyhow, Recycle Hooligan, I've been watching you, and I love it when you give praise to the Lord. He is your Savior. May God bless. Love each and every one of you.